What's up, everyone? It's Wacka. You're getting two videos out of me today. Today, we are covering what was shown in the Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimensions trailer. But this is actually the same slideshow that I showed before the game. Maybe it was like a month ago, probably after the. It was right after I think we saw Mega Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, because then I made a prediction video for that. However, since we have the new Megas, I might make a video for those two about how I feel about them in draft. But since they don't have abilities and stuff, like I don't know. I might make a video, but since we just got a trailer for two new Megas, and we're about to get two more, or well, I don't know, we're gonna get like two more trailers before the DLC releases in just 1 month, guys. 1 month. I figured I would I would give my predictions for those guys, and also go through my old ones and see how close I was, because I kind of forgot what I guessed, but I want to see how accurate I was. So yeah, so before I get into the new Megas, the new Megas, I want to see how close I was on some of these. It actually looks like I was pretty close with Dragonite. I predicted it to gain attack, but I got its defenses pretty spot on. I know its defenses aren't exactly the same. I forgot what they were. Is its defense actually higher than its special defense? Let me see. Dragonite. Mega Dragonite. Oh yeah, it's 125 special defense, 115 defense. Okay. So I guess I could have predicted that. I just kind of guessed that they would even out its defenses a bit more, but I guess not. But I was pretty spot on that it would become a special attacker, or that they'd lean into special attack. But I didn't predict it to be like more of a special attacker than physical, so I guess Game Freak kind of had me out there. Victory Bell. I thought Victory Bell was going to be slow, so I was pretty off with this Mega. But it did end up being a lot stronger, though, than I thought it would be, which is nice. It's just not as bulky as I wish it would have been. So I wasn't very close with Victory Bell, unfortunately. And let me see. I think I'm gonna have to keep looking at Showdown, huh? Mega Victory Bell. Okay, so it does actually have more special attack, so I was correct that it would have more special attack than attack this time. So yeah. Hawlucha, I was pretty close with Hawlucha, I will say. I don't know why I predicted its special attack to go up by 5, but I did kind of guess it would be a lot more defensive. Its attack is actually a lot higher than I predicted it to be, and its speed didn't change, so I'd say the one I had predicted might be worse, but at least I thought it'd be faster. But the only reason I thought it'd be faster is because I thought they would want it to speed tie like Zamazenta, but I guess not. If Zamazenta didn't exist, I probably would have predicted like almost exactly what we were given, minus like I got the defenses a little bit wrong, and there's not a special attack increase. Malamar, I was not close on Malamar at all. I did predict it would get a lot of special attack, but I didn't predict it to be like especially defensive as it actually was. Its defense didn't go up at all. Its attack actually stayed. No, its attack went up by like 10, so I was pretty far off on this one, unfortunately. I mean, I did predict that it would suck ass, but yeah, with Chestnut, this is one of the ones where I was like, oh, they'll kind of even out the stats, like the weird numbers to like an even like 0 or 5, which they didn't really end up doing. And then they end up slowing him down a lot. And he got a lot more special defense than I thought. And because it's like you have to get the Chestnut type online, they didn't end up wasting any stat points in special attack. So keep in mind with my future predictions that I'm probably not going to waste as much like points into useless stats, because I at this point I kind of figure like, oh, DLC mons are not gonna like waste points and stats anywhere, so keep that in mind. Attack, I was pretty close with. Defense, I thought it would be a little bit lower than it actually was, so the real Mega Chestnut's a lot better than this, I will say. Delphox, I was pretty close with Delphox. I kind of predicted it, again, since I thought they would waste points in attack. Like, if I had taken these 10 points out of attack and put it into special attack, I would have been completely spot on there. Special defense, I was pretty close, and speed, I was also pretty close. I was off by like 5 there. Special defense, I was off by like 10. But its attack and its defense didn't change, so interesting. Greninja, I thought they would make it more of a special attacker, but they actually went, like, they just kept it as a mixed attacker, so, like, the way they went with this, I think I was pretty close, but it leaned a bit more into attack than I thought it would. Not as much into speed, and then they gave just plus 10 to its defenses, whereas I gave it plus 8. So I guess I was decently close there. I had the right idea, but again, I was a little bit more focused on like evening out the stats to like better numbers. Like, well, actually not in this instance. I actually kind of fucked it up a little bit more, but anyways. And I thought they'd give it 151 to outspeed the Calyrexes, but I guess not. Raichus. I might go back on the Raichus now that I've seen what they did to all the new Megas. This one, though, like, I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty safe guess. I think both of these are pretty safe. Like, maybe they're not safe, but I could see this happening. So getting into my predictions for the new Megas. So, spoiler from here. Mega Chimecho. So, Chimecho is a mon where I think it's pretty close to being good. Its stats are awful, but, like, they're pretty workable, I think. And the way that they made this new Mega, I love how it's just Chingling, by the way. Like, it's just a giant Chingling, overall, that's surrounding it. And then you have all the other Chimechos just, like, hanging off of it. Like, all little fake ones. And, like, the real Chimecho, like, didn't really change that much. Like, the body. So I think Chimecho's really cool. It doesn't have a lot of physical moves, as it's not a physical attacker. Obviously, its only stab move is in headbutt, but it has knockoff and double edge, I guess. Like, you could run knockoff on Chimecho. And in terms of special moves, it gets Psyshock, Psychic Noise. It gets Gleam, Signal Beam, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Draining Kiss. In terms of status moves, it gets Wish, Heal Bell, Recover, Thunder Wave, Toxic in both screens. So it has some decent utility there, and actually, I completely forgot, and I'll just kind of add it here, but I believe it gets Calm Mind, and definitely gets Cosmic Power. These moves, and I think what Mega Chimecho will be, is going to be really good. So what I'm predicting is, because it's a DLC Mega, they're not going to waste any points into its attack set, I would hope to God. And if they don't lower its speed, I think theoretically, like, this would be like a 110, this will be like a 120 here for defenses, and this might stay 65, but I think they'll want to lean, like, Trick Room with it, and make it slower than, like, Ursaluna, for example. So I put it at 45, and that allowed me to increase all its other sets by 40 each. And I kind of like that. 75 HP isn't bad. Actually, it's pretty close to Meganium. I think because Meganium has like 80, and if they increase this to 120 and 130, this is bulkier than Mega Meganium, which is pretty crazy. And it has a similar special attack stat with a setup move. And potentially they could keep Levitate on it. Oh, and also it is a part Steel type now. So I'm predicting they'll probably give it just Flash Cannon, because there's not really like another special Steel move other than Steel Beam. And because it's not a Steel type as it evolves, I don't think it would get Steel Beam, but I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't think there's any non-Steel types that get Steel Beam. It's kind of like Draco Meteor in a way. So I don't know, like, they'll probably give it Steel Beam. They might give it like Flash, well, probably not Steel Beam, but they'll give it Flash Cannon probably. Maybe they'll give it Gyro Ball, Heavy Slam or something. it doesn't really have a lot of use for steel stat. Well, I don't know. There's just not there's not a good way to fit a steel move on it other than Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon is not really good, so maybe in Champions they'll go to signature move, or its ability might be like punk rock esque, or it'll be like Pixelate esque, where they give it hyper voice. Oh, that's something I didn't put on the coverage. I totally forgot. It gets hyper voice. And it was actually seen using Boom Burst in the trailer. So what I think they could be doing is they might give it a steel ability, like Aerialate, but for steel. So it could get like Steel Boom Burst, or Steel Hyper Voice. I don't know if that's the direction they want to go, but they could also potentially keep Levitate on it because it still levitates. So I could see that happening. But either way, I think this mon's gonna be really good in like draft or like on ladder because it gets that Calm Mind Draining Kiss, and it's a steel type now, so you can't poison it. So you don't have to worry about toxic poison. And Chimecho's not gonna mind getting burned if it's a special attacker. T-Wave maybe. They could give it Magic Guard as well, but I kind of lean into either it's gonna get like some sound-based ability, or it'll get like a Steel 8 ability, or it'll just keep Levitate. I guess that's a lot of options, but those are all the directions I can see with Chimecho. The next one is Mega Excalibur, and I will say for these stats, it looks really broken. And I'll be completely honest, I think it's just going to be insanely broken. The thing with like Mega Garchomp and like Tyranitar is pretty slow, even after Mega Evolving, and it has a really horrible typing defensively. Excalibur's typing is not as good. It's probably a little bit better. Doesn't have as well. I don't know. It probably has just as many weaknesses, but it was already faster to begin with. And the way, like, this is the render that we were given. It looks skinnier. Like, it looks smaller to me in a way. Or it looks like a lot of the energy from it went into the sword, and I guess theoretically maybe the sword could slow it down more now that it's like impaling it or going through it, and it looks a lot bigger and heavier. I could see it being not as fast as I predicted it to be, but since it's a DLC mod, I'm predicting it to be pretty broken. And it's probably gonna get like Sheer Force as an ability, because it says it uses its sheer weight to cleave through anything in half or smash it into bits. I don't know. I don't think Sheer Force really benefits it that much. It does have some coverage moves that would. I guess Icicle Crash flinches. Glaive Rush doesn't really have an effect with Sheer Force, but I guess that's not the point though. Like I guess the effect from Glaive Rush would work. It's technically a hindrance move, but yeah, but then you could also use Scale Shot without getting a speed boost, so I don't know. It could be a really awkward Mega, but these stats, like, there's no way that they can make a bad Mega out of these stats unless they make it a special attacker, which is just, I don't think that's happening. I don't really like the design, by the way. I think it's, like, too skinny. There's something about the render, like, it just looks too skinny, and, like, the normal Excalibur render, like, it stands upright. I guess it's kind of cool that he like leans forward, but to me it's because he's being weighed down by a giant sword. But like I don't know why it looks smaller to me. But it looks decent in like in-game screenshots or like clips. But yeah, it has a lot of physical moves at least. It'll be a good mon. Like it gets all the physical ice and dragon moves that you'd ask for. Gets a lot of coverage like EQ, Brick Break, Aqua Tail, Crunch, Iron Head. Like, I don't see you running any other moves than these, like, Break Screens, Fairy Coverage, Fire-type ground... Well, probably more like Fire-type coverage, like the Incineroars. Gets Earthquake... I don't know. In terms of special moves, I was almost going to predict it to gain, like, a little bit of special attack for, like, Freeze Dry calcs, because it does get Freeze Dry. But it kind of kills Pelipper anyways with 72 special attacks, so I kind of don't predict it to move that much. If they didn't want to make it as broken, I could see it gaining some special attack, but probably not as much. And it only has stab moves on the special side anyways. Its only other special move is Terra Blast, from what I saw. And then in terms of setup move, it's pretty straightforward. It just gets Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, and like sub protect or something. So if it keeps like Ice Body, then they could. I honestly though, I think it's just gonna keep Thermal Exchange because that was kind of the point of Excalibur before. Same with Chimecho. Like Chimecho is one of the original like Levitate mons because it was introduced in Gen 3 with abilities. And other than Flygon, it was definitely like one of the few mods that got Levitate back then. So, like, I think they'd keep Levitate on it, but at the same time, if it's Psychic Steel, like, would they really just want to make it like a better Bronzong? At that point, why didn't you just give this a regular evolution and then make like Mega Bronzong? Like, I don't know. I guess I don't get it, but either way, 2 cool new megas to get, and we're gonna get 2 more next week. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Other than that, I'll have other content that I'll be uploading, but in 2 weeks we'll hopefully get some more new megas. And yeah, I'll see you guys then.